I'm at home again, which I'm really enjoying. It's the off season now, so I'm getting stuck into my winter training, and I thought what I'd do is bring you a video about how I manage to do all the riding that I do and all the training that I do and fit it around my family and my other work. Now, I know from the outside it might look like all I do is fart around on a bike and post photos on Instagram, but actually I do work, I do have a daughter, and my life is really busy. The other thing you might not know is I'm actually a qualified British cycling coach and a qualified mountain bike guide and leader. I thought it'd be a nice idea to give you guys the chance to try out one of my training plans, so I've teamed up with the brand Beryl, who make awesome lights, to give you the chance to get your hands on a 4-week winter training plan designed by me. I'll let you know how you can get it later on in the video, but for now, here's how I managed to fit in my training over the winter and some tips so that you can do the same. So, tip number 1, get up early. Now, you might not initially like the idea of sacrificing extra time in your lovely warm bed, but believe me, once you get into the routine, and it doesn't take long to get into the routine, you're going to really love the extra time that you get out on the bike, and it doesn't eat into the rest of your day. I really enjoy being out there whilst everyone else is still sleeping. There's just something really special about that. Now, it's always important that you keep safe when you're out training early in the morning as the sun comes up. I have got Beryl lights, and Beryl have kindly sponsored this video. So this is the Pixel. It works as a front or a rear light. Amazing, right? And it's super lightweight, charges really quickly. I love having that one on the front. And at the back, I have the burner brake, which is really amazing because it can tell when you're slowing down, and it glows more brightly when you do so, which means that the guys behind you see it like a brake light, you know, like the lights on a car. So I've got the Pixel, I've got the burner brake, I'm ready to train early in the morning. I head off whilst it's still just about daybreak, and by the time I get to the place where I want to do some hard training, the sun is up and it's lovely. So on to tip number 2, which is ditch the base miles. Now, traditionally in winter, pro cyclists would always switch to a regime that involved loads of miles at fairly low, steady intensity. And people thought, well, if it works for the professionals, it must work for me. But professionals have totally different lives to people like you and I, who have jobs, who have families. Well, yeah, I know some pros have families. But anyway, they have a totally different life. They can afford to spend hours and hours. My cat is going mad. They can afford to spend hours and hours training on the bike. We can't. So the point is, base miles work if... Shut up. The point is, base miles work if you can ride for 25 hours a week. Most of us can't. You're far better off fitting in some short, high-intensity interval sessions so that you can maximise the time that you have on the bike. Seriously, guys. Anyway, on to tip 3, which is... Did you hear? Oh, look, this is the culprit. Oh, okay, on to tip number 3, which is... Tip number 3 is find a hill that's close to home to train on. This is one of my favourite ways to maximise the use of my time when I haven't got much of it. This session works really well if you haven't got a power meter or a heart rate monitor. You just need to be able to time your efforts. Or even don't time your efforts, because effectively what you're doing is sprinting to the top of the hill. This is what I'm going to go and do now, so come along with me and I'll explain more about how it works. First things first, I've got a Pixel on the front, one on my helmet, and I've got the burner brake on the rear to keep me visible. So here's one of my favourite sessions. You put your bike in a relatively heavy gear and then you sprint up that steep hill as hard as you can for 15 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds. You guys should be standing up to start. Anyway, that wasn't the full 15 seconds. But once you've done that, turn around, go down to the bottom of the hill again. Give yourself a 3-minute break. Do the same thing again, 6 times
and go home, you're done.
Tip number 4 is use your commute. Now, I don't commute because I work from home or from wherever I am at the time, but there are several sessions that I used to like doing when I was commuting. One of them is overgeared sprints. So when you're waiting at the lights, put your bike into a heavy gear. When the lights go green, sprint off in that heavy gear. It's a really good workout. And if you do that from every set of lights that you're stopping at, you are going to get a lot of sprints in on the way to work. The other one that you can do, and one that I particularly hate, is high cadence spinning. So basically you have your bike set in a really, really light gear, and every time the lights go green, you have to sprint off like this, and it really, really, really sucks. But it's a really, really good workout. Now, can I just say, if you're going to train on your commute, just don't be a douchebag. You know what I'm saying. Respect everyone else, respect the traffic, have some lights on so that everyone can see you. Basically, just be a nice person, yeah? On to tip number 6, which is get kitted out. Now, people always say, oh, there's no such thing as bad weather, there's only bad equipment. Yeah, right. Sometimes it's just horrible out there. But if you've got the right equipment, it's going to make things more bearable, and you'll probably still get out on your ride. Probably. So I like to get everything ready the night before so that in the morning I can just get up, put all my stuff on without even thinking whilst I'm still half asleep, get out the door, and I know that I'm good. So I would say you need mud guards, even just a little clip-on one. You need overshoes, they are so good. Obviously you need decent lights. Beryl ones are fully waterproof and have a 2-year warranty. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Gloves, obviously gloves. Tip number 7 is use an indoor trainer. Like I was saying about the gear, sometimes the weather just is awful and you don't want to go out when it's totally pitch black and raining. You know, I can sympathise. I don't always want to train under those conditions either. Turbo sessions can be a really efficient use of your time, particularly if you do intervals like the ones that I've put in the training plan that I created for Beryl. You guys probably know that I really like Zwift and I've got a watt bike. I often train on my watt bike with Zwift during my toddler's nap. So she still naps between about 12 and 2. That time is golden, that's training time. So I'm straight in there, straight on the watt bike. You don't need to have a smart trainer. You can use rollers, you can use, what's the opposite of a smart trainer? A stupid trainer? You can use a stupid trainer. It's all good workout, so yeah. And my final tip is get organised. Now, I've got a 2-year-old and a husband and a job, and I still have to do loads of boring chores. Well, I'm supposed to anyway, but yeah, I guess the house could do with a clean. Anyway, we've all only got a finite amount of time each week, and it's easy for that all to disappear without you having done all the stuff you want to do. So at the beginning of each week, I write down every single thing that I'm doing in blocks, and I'm pretty meticulous. So there's the morning time, there's my daughter's nap time. I told you that is a golden time for me to do things. I put in my work time, I put in my training, I put in my gym time, I put in what Dave is doing, I put in things that we're doing together, like we go mountain biking every Wednesday morning. That time is golden. That's not being changed. So put in all your commitments, put in all your work, and make sure you schedule time for your training, because you've got to put in the stuff that's important to you. So that's my tips for training this winter. I hope you found them useful. In order to kickstart your winter training, I've put together a 4-week training plan with Beryl that you guys can get for free. So here's a little look at the Beryl site. You can get some info here on the training plan, and in order to get it, you need to be one of the first 250 to buy the new Pixel Lite using the link in the description to this video. Just enter Train with Juliet at the checkout to receive it. That's Train with Juliet. You can also see some product specs of the Pixel. You can see they attach anywhere. You get all the mounts and the mini USB in the package. Some more info on the plan, pictures of me, all sorts of cool stuff there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, please leave me comments. I love talking to you guys. And let me know what you think of the video and the lights, and let me know any ideas you have for future videos, or just say hello. Bye!